I'm fortunate since I retired that I'm a consultant with Adams County Nursery, and Adams County Nursery has two exclusive agreements. They have one with the Rutgers, New Jersey Agricultural Experiment Station Fruit Breeding Program to exclusively develop and market peach, nectarine, and apple varieties that were bred and hybridized in the experiment station. And also they have one with the United States Department Agricultural Research fruit breeding program located in Kearneysville, West Virginia. And one of the things that I get to work with is looking at a lot of the material, apples, peaches, and nectarines that have come out of the program, and how we can develop them and get them into commerce in the fruit industry. So you're going to see a lot of information about that, but you're also going to see some other varieties that we sell, some that we don't sell at Adams County, that may be of interest to you. Okay, this is a variety. I have a few early nectarines that you may not have seen before. This is called Nectarfest. This is a variety that was developed in Kearneysville. It's a really nice tasting, very early season nectarine. It's a normal acidic nectarine. It's not a low acid. We have more and more low acid fruit. And I might just preface, and I've said to you, some of you have heard me say this before, we're looking at a lot of different things. We know we can take a lesson from the apple industry, and when you walk into an apple display in ShopRite or any of the large retailers, you see 15 or 18 different varieties of apples. You see new varieties that weren't there a week ago. And I'm always amazed how they get shelf space for new varieties. I remember I've been working on fruit variety development for 50 years. And I'm always amazed at how they can get shelf space, in a supermarket with a new variety. Years ago, you could beat your head against the wall trying to get the supermarkets to promote a new variety. But they've obviously learned, as many of you know already that have farm markets, that people want things new and different. They want novel things. They're always looking for something new. I have friends that have farmers markets, have 10 or 15 farmers markets, and they know that they need something new. They need new materials, things that are different. As long as they taste good, they've got to taste good, they've got to look nice. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at, and I could talk about a lot of interspecific hybrids here, some really novel things, but I'm going to just stick mostly with peaches and nectarines that we're looking at. This is one. The novel thing about this nectarine is it's on an upright tree. Dr. Scorza, some of you may have heard him out at Hershey. He gave an excellent talk on genetic engineering and fruit trees and new fruit varieties. But he's working on tree structure. We don't have size controlling rootstocks in peaches. At least we don't in the East. We have some in California that are going through the NC 140, or it actually has a different name, I guess now, testing program. But this is an upright tree. It's an early season nectarine. It's got good flavor, good size, early in the season. This is a variety that was developed in the Rutgers fruit breeding program. It's called Avalon, New Jersey 101. It's an introduction from the breeding program by Adams County Nursery. This has a low acid flavor. This is a yellow-fleshed, early nectarine, about the same time as Nectarfest, and this is a low acid. One of the other things, put my microphone down, Father. Should I stand up? Uh-oh, I did it. I talked too loud. Maybe a tornado's coming. They're talking about tornadoes. I turn it off. So I have to, you want me to yell real loud? Okay, this is from our program. This is Avalon. And one of the things that most of the New Jersey selections have is low susceptibility to bacterial spot. So that's an important, we get bacterial spot, as many of you know, is a problem on peaches and nectarines, but most of the, practically everyone I've seen doesn't get bacterial spot. This is Silver Gem. This is an early white nectarine from the breeding program. It ripens about with Arctic Star about 10 to 14 days before Red Haven. It's got a nice sugar to acid ratio, real good flavor early in the season. I wish it was a little larger, but it's, you know, it's not quite as big as Arctic Star, but mostly it's generally as big as most of the other varieties. Low susceptibility to bacterial spot. Carine. Carine is a French nectarine. It comes from the INRA program and what we used to call the Riviera breeding program in France. It's again an early season nectarine. It's a really nice nectarine. This one has really nice size for a yellow flesh nectarine, a firm melting clingstone, normal acidity. It does get a little bacterial spot, and it has been a good cropper. And the bacterial spot I don't think is as much of a problem because it's early in the season where it's more manageable. Okay, this is a variety called Arrington. Arrington is developed at the University of Arkansas in their fruit breeding program. And the unique thing about Arrington, it has non-melting flesh. It's got that very firm, rubbery texture. It's a clingstone, but it's really got good flavor. It's subacid, and it has low susceptibility to bacterial spot. Another sister variety to Arrington, just a few days before Red Haven, is Bradley. Again, it was developed in Arkansas in the program there. Again, it's a non-melting flesh. It's got that real firm, rubbery, sweet flesh, clingstone, very good flavor, normal acidity. And both Arrington and Bradley have that nice clean fruit. They're not as red. They don't have that real intense scarlet red. They have a nice orange red overcolor to them. Okay, this is a nectarine from Paul Friday's breeding program in Michigan. It's called PF11. Some of you, this has been around a few years, but I didn't have it in my list before. It's got really nice size. It's right there with Summer Butte. Some of you may grow Summer Butte. Good flavor, normal acidity. It's been a good productive nectarine. It does get a little bacterial spot on it and a few skin blemishes, but I have some commercial growers that really grow a lot of this variety, and it's really done well. Zephyr is a white nectarine. Again, it came from the Riviera program or INRA program in France. It's white-fleshed, very firm melting, excellent size. It's a big nectarine. The color's a little variable because it's late in the season. You're talking about Jersey Queen season or Lady Nancy. Some of you might grow Lady Nancy peach. Does get a few skin blemishes, but it's got great flavor late in the season if you want a white nectarine. Desiree, I've talked about this before, but this, of the four, Desiree, Gloria, and Messina, and Victoria, which were all introduced about the same time, Desiree is really the most widely planted one. It's an early peach that was developed by the program 23 days before Red Haven, so you're talking about the 4th of July or earlier, very attractive, and it's really been very productive, nice flavor for early in the season, and it's really a popular peach in Michigan and in Canada and northern areas. It seems that they really like it because it's unparalleled in that early season. But in New Jersey, Cara Red is from Clemson, is also done very well in my test box. I've had a long time. It's really a nice sized peach early in the season, 23 days before Red Haven. Nice flesh, firm, nice firmness, real pretty peach. It does get a little bacterial spot, which surprises me for a Clemson peach, but it's really a nice early season peach. And it's come through in 2014 and 2015. Norm talked about some of the cold weather we had. Caro Red really produces well and has good size. Early Star from Michigan. This is part of the Fruit Acres breeding program in Michigan. Some of you may have this. I've been impressed with it. It's, again, an early peach, a little after Desiree and Caro Red, but a really nice sized peach early in the season. Good flavor. Does get a little bacterial spot, but it's been very productive and a regular producer. This is one from the breeding program, July Rose, Cultivar 3554. It's a generic name. This was developed at Rutgers. It's a clingstone firm, sweet, low acid. I just saw, I have a grower in Salem County who has a large planting of this, and it's really very pretty. Very, very pretty. Low susceptibility to bacterial spot. Scarlet Rose, this is a low ethylene producing peach. This is an early variety. It ripens just after July Rose, 7 to 11 days before Haven. It's very firm. It's what we used to use that term stony hard. I hate that term because it's not stony, but it's very, very hard. It hangs on the tree well. I have seen a little back spot on it, which surprises me from our Rutgers breeding program. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful peach, and it really has nice flavor. But it is very firm. And we're trying to develop peaches that you can eat on the go, that when you eat them, they don't squirt juice all over your clothes. So you can buy them at Wawa and eat them, and they're not like you can eat apples, that they're neat peaches, as Dan Ward calls them. He calls them the neat peaches because they're not so messy to eat. Scarlet Rose is one of them. 9A007 is one of Paul Friday's peaches. I like this one in Red Haven season because it's got such good size. Very nice size, very attractive peach. Flavor Burst, this is a mid-season peach, sort of in Loring season, a little after it, about 10 days after Red Haven. But this is a standard tree. This is a really high quality peach from the USDA program. Some of you may have it. It's been around a few years. It's sort of subacid. It's not a normal acidic peach. A July Prince. This is my favorite peach from the USDA program at Byron. This is a beautiful, beautiful peach in Loring season. Good size, very large. Great color, handles very well, does get a little spot like some of the Byron peaches do from the USDA ARS program there. It's also, I think right now it's probably the #1 peach in South Carolina. It's very, very popular variety. And unlike a lot of the Prince peaches, some of you may have grown some of them. I've tested a lot of them over the years. This one has cropped well, came through with a great crop in 2014, 2015 seasons when there was a lot of Prince varieties that didn't have hardly any fruit on in my test block. August Rose, this is a ARS program selection, not ARS, New Jersey Rutgers selection. It's a late season, a nice big white flesh peach, subacid, very good quality. You're talking about a peach that's probably in the season with Sugar Giant, maybe a little bit before Lady Nancy in that late season. Autumn Star, I've had this peach around a long time, but we're looking for a very late peach. This is about 40 days after Red Haven. This came out of the Fruit Acres program in Michigan. Some of you may have it, but we have growers that are planting a lot of it because over time it's really shown up to be a real nice peach. Doesn't get much bacterial spot. A lot of those real late peaches we have spots on, and the color has been fairly good. It's been consistent. Again, when we get into those real late peaches, we have a lot of variation in color. Okay, I want to talk about some of the stuff in the future. How much time do I have, Wynn? Am I okay? I can't see the clock. Which means, oh, I got 10 more minutes, okay. I want to give credit to Dr. Gafrida for a lot of these outstanding peaches, and to Annie Vordeckers, his technician. Annie started at Rutgers 50 years ago when I was a grad student there, working for Dr. Huff, and she's been the key to really going through three or four fruit breeders since then. She's been sort of the rock of evaluating peach varieties, and Annie retired this year, and she's going to be a great loss to the fruit industry. But the Rutgers program is started in 1908 by Professor Blake, and it's run continuously for 108 years, and we're happy at Adams County to be an exclusive marketer of their new varieties. Okay, this is a peach called H747. It's a yellow flush semi-freestone peach. It ripens just after Red Haven, and this is a very firm peach, low acid. This is one of those peaches that you walk down a row of trees and it just jumps out at you. It's so beautiful. It's just a gorgeous peach, and here I put a picture of it next to Red Haven, Flaming Fury PF Lucky 13, and a John Boy, and this is 747. And the other thing about it is the color is so uniform. You know, it gets red and it stays red, and it just hangs there. In fact, I was picking it too early. Is it on? Okay, good. I was picking it too early, and I was amazed how well it would take on size. You know, we sometimes pick fruit too early when it looks pretty, and it'll grow another 1/4 inch if we just leave it on the tree, and the flavor holds up well. But this is a really nice peach that we don't have available yet, but that will be introduced. This is a late season peach that's going to be introduced. This is called, the designation refers to the tree in the row, tree 64 in row 197. K is the block where the trees came out of. This is, and it will have a number, a generic number, a cultivar number, when probably in the next few weeks. So I had to use these test numbers. Very firm. This is a peach that we need a peach to replace Jersey Queen, Redskin in that season. It's actually after Messina and Gloria, a little bit later. And it's a really nice size. This one stands out because it's so big. It's really have large fruit, and it's been very productive. It's very attractive peach. And this is 6576. This is just a little bit later. This is an Encore season. Again, we're trying to improve upon Encore, have a peach better than Encore. Again, it's a normal city peach. Very attractive. This is really a pretty peach, and it's been consistently pretty. It doesn't seem to be as sensitive to the fluctuations we get in temperature and other factors that affect coloring. Okay, now I'm going to show you a bunch of varieties, and I'm not going to show you the test number because I'm not sure where we're going with them. But this is one we selected that probably will be introduced, and this is an early yellow flesh nectarine that ripens with summer butte. And a lot of this post-harvest data is from Dr. Gohill and Dr. Ward. They collect, a lot of the laboratory data on the fruit. This has been very productive. It doesn't, again, we're trying to find nectarines that don't get bacterial spot. These are all nice, clean fruit. Trying to find fruit that isn't full of blemishes. Trying to get fruit that's size is better. And then we have a white nectarine in the same season, an early season white nectarine just before Red Haven. This one will probably also be introduced. This is really a nice size nectarine. It's really got great size, color, low skin blemishes. It's been clean. I don't want to, and I'm supposed to be careful about promoting numbers. Okay. Because they can't trademark the name and patent the variety if the number is exposed too early, exposed to the public. This is another one. This is an early flat nectarine. It's a nice early season nectarine. It's got great flavor. It's yellow fleshed. It's clingstone, but it's, you know, it's actually the first flat nectarine that we've introduced from the breeding program. We introduced Saturn, which is New Jersey F1, and that was a flat white, and that's the one you see in the supermarkets called Donut Peach. Everybody sells. That's Saturn, and that's from the Rutgers program. Firm melding, low acid, has a low acid flavor, pretty good overall quality. And because this is so unique, does get a little stem cracking, but it's certainly not, it's not as bad. It doesn't tear like Saturn does. Any of you that grow Saturn, that you have a problem with the tears on the skin. And I haven't seen any bacterial spot, but I've only observed these trees. These next varieties are the planting that went out from the planting that went out in 2013. We have them on 8 farmer sites in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland, and we have them plantings at Adams County in our test block there. We put out, you know, in addition to having a lot of fruit from Zyger Genetics and Star Fruits in France and other breeding programs, we have all these Rutgers selections, and then we also have a planting going out this spring of 25 novel peach and nectarine varieties that we're going to plant this spring. And hopefully we're going to have one at the Rarick at the research station there, because we need second generation plantings. Okay, I'm going to go through these quickly because again, I picked them out because they're unique in some way. This is a very early nectarine. This is an early nectarine that I picked out because it has great size. You know, it's got really nice size. You're talking on 3-year-old trees. When you get 3-inch nectarines on 3-year-old trees, you know it's got potential for good size, and they have a good crop on them. Well, actually, the average was 2 7/8 inches. I exaggerated, medium, large. This is a very early white nectarine, July 1st, ripens the 4th of July. Cream-colored, semi-clingstone, medium flesh. This has been a nice, clean nectarine. These nectarines have really been nice in the test blocks. Aromatic, normal acidity flavor. Haven't seen any bacterial spot. But it's interesting because of its flavor and attractiveness. This is a very early peach. This peach ripens with rich May, which is about the earliest peach I've evaluated over the years in our test block that we sell at Adams County. This year we picked it on the 15th of June in South Jersey, so it's really early, and it's got nice size early in the season. Large fruit, did have a few split pits, but it had, you know, the fruit was big. And it ripens before Desiree and just after Rich May. Actually, I think it ripens pretty much with Rich May. I picked it after Rich May, but it was ripe before that, and it's been precocious. This is a very early yellow season, another early yellow flesh nectarine. Been very productive on young trees. This is an early season white peach. This is a peach that ripens about snow bright season in South Jersey. If you grow snow bright, it's before White Lady. And it gets a tremendously red color on it. Actually, you look at it and you say, well, that has red flesh. Well, I don't know. Maybe red flesh will mean more antioxidants. Maybe it'll have some unique attribute that we don't know of. These are the things that we have to learn. I'm just evaluating them in the field and not in the laboratory. But the fruit's been clean, very aromatic, low acid. And low acid to me is less than 0.5% titratable acidity. That's the same standard that Dr. Crisosto used in California on all his post-Starvis studies on fruit. But it's interesting because it's got great size and it's very attractive and clean. Now here's a nice clean fleshed early mid-season white peach. This ripens about just a little bit near bounty. As a white peach, it probably, my mind's blank, I can't think of a white peach right in that season. After Raritan Rose, after White Lady, probably closer to Klondike, if you grow Klondike, which is a gorgeous peach, and this is comparable. It's really, really pretty peach, comparable. But Klondike doesn't crop well. Probably a lot of you in North Jersey don't grow it, but it's not a good cropper in South Jersey. It's a low acid peach. I don't know why I set them up this way. I got to keep pressing this button to go through it. This is a nice early season nectarine, mid-season nectarine, a yellow flesh, something to replace Sunglow or Fire Bright, in that season. Good size, great size in that season. I don't know. I said it wasn't quite as red as Sunglow. It probably is. I'm probably being a little hard on it. Again, we have to look at these a long time, but these are really, when you're going down, you're looking at a lot of varieties. These things, some of these really jump out at you. I would like to acknowledge Dr. Ward, who runs the post-harvest lab at Rarick, who, if you can hear about some of his work tomorrow at South Jersey Fruit Ring, and Dr. Gohill, who just started to help us in the program, and the New Jersey growers who, on the Peach Council, this is a function of the Peach Council directors, not the Peach Promotion Council, but these growers maintain nice variety blocks. They have a lot of these trees planted in their variety blocks, and of course, Adams County Nursery